chat about The Visiting Hour. It's your Gate stage debut before you moved to the Abbey. I am absolutely delighted that you are directing it.
Oh, I'm over the moon.
Tell me a little about what attracted you to the play and how you're in a second week of rehearsals. How is it all going? And I know that you've done a good bit of work in the last year in terms of live streaming other work, you've other projects, other stories, other plays, but how is it going for you?
I think it's going really well. I mean, we've done a week, and this week we've had a bank holiday, so we're very early in the process. But I have to say, it's a very joyful room to be in. I was drawn to it initially. Well, I am a sucker for Frank McGuinness, I have to say. We're from the same part of the world, and when I read him, he makes me laugh out loud. Like, he captures local people in Donegal and in his show better than most people. It's just gorgeous to work on a text that feels so local to me and familiar. So that was a big, I was interested immediately. But this is a beautiful, subtle, delicate piece of writing. It's a father and daughter, and it's set in a nursing home. The father's inside, the daughter is outside. And it came from an experience. Frank was inspired by an experience he had where he went to visit a friend and was really taken. And this was before COVID. It was a year and a half, 2 years ago, actually. So it was just a while before COVID, I believe. And he was really taken by how somebody with dementia was being looked after in this nursing home, the care that was being taken. And then I think the images of seeing families not able to connect with their loved ones and seeing them outside windows and thinking about his experience and how these people would be confused and abandoned because of the necessities of the COVID regulations just inspired this beautiful, delicate little simple play. Not simple at all, actually. I'm sure the actors would take the head off me for saying that because it's quite complicated. As you can imagine, playing somebody with dementia and non sequiturs and thoughts coming, from no connecting feed line is quite the challenge to learn. But they're doing really well with it, and having a lot of laughs in the process.
And what's it like with Stephen and Judith?
Well, they're great fun, and Stephen and Judith know each other from work in the past. So they have a lovely, lovely connection and energy. So, they bring a lot. They don't let each other away with very much. They bring a lot of fun out of each other. So it's been really great for me getting to sit back and watch the fireworks they're having. They have a lovely quality together. And, as well, they're so experienced, both of them. They've done so much, but to see them sitting down, engaging with the basics of the simplest form, two people sitting down, talking to each other. There's very little going on in terms of movement or, anything obvious that you would normally see in a theatre production. It's just purely them, their relationship, and these words that Frank has written. It's gorgeous.
I think you absolutely got it right there in terms of the essence of sort of the purity of storytelling, so actor focused, so driven. It's really, I think, would be a joy to behold at a time when we're just needing stories that move us and shift us and allow us to think in different ways and feel that we are connected. Because I think, like you, and I think like so many of us, how much we miss that live experience and what it's been like over the last year of everyone quite rightly trying different ways of reaching audiences and working with artists in different ways. How do you feel, obviously worked so much in the live space, this shift now into streaming and connecting through film and camera and screen as a way to tell these stories. Hopefully the live or new hybrid models will come back, but the live experience will be on our doorstep, we all hope, very soon.
Yeah, yeah. I think, well, one of the gifts is that when you have a camera, the levels of intimacy and quiet and connection between minutiae in terms of what people are thinking and wanting to say and not saying, the insight you get into that, putting a camera in someone's face is gorgeous, and it's a real gift for like a theatre director. I haven't made films or anything before, so paring something down into that moment between two people has been a really interesting process for me in terms of my thinking around how to stage something. I constantly find that I'm having a thought, oh, A could do this and B could do that, and then seeing it in the room and thinking, that's too big. A doesn't need to do anything. A only needs to think it, and it's there. So, and I think we will borrow some of that when we go back to live experiences, because we'll have that experience of what cameras can do. And I also think that, we have a lot to be thankful for in terms of accessibility. When you think of people isolated in their own homes normally during normal times or, standard times, then, the idea that we could share stories with them, that they could access theatre, that there could be a streaming event available to them at any time of the year or in any circumstances is a really big opportunity, both for them to have access, but also for us to get to an audience. And I think that's something we will never pull back from.
I don't think we ever can.
And the whole process around even making something or auditioning online, Zoom rehearsals, design meetings on Zoom, I think it'll change the shape of the industry, and it might even, help financially save money at certain times, because these tools are available to us, and we have learned how to use them because we've had to use them for so long. We're now quite adept at having a meeting on Zoom. There is no way you would have thought you could have a design meeting on Zoom 2 years ago. So I think that there's a lot of things that will have a big impact on how we function. But, I hope it's not too much of an impact. I don't think that anything can compensate for sharing the same air as the people you're making a piece of work with.
I would absolutely 100% agree.
And
on that note, Caitriona, I would like to thank you for being part of the first Gate podcast.
Pleasure.
To say how much I am, and I hope many other people are looking forward to seeing the visiting hour later this month. And I hope as you take over the Abbey and you start programming, we will have every opportunity to hook up, share more stories, and help create a healthier, more stronger and exciting and inspiring theatre industry in this country.
I'm in, Selina.
We will talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Amelia.